Good evening, children. I hope everyone are safe at home. So let us begin with the new chapter under biology, that is the fundamental unit of life. Under this chapter, we will be looking into basic introduction to the chapter and let us see what are living organisms made up of. Let us begin. So before going into depth concept of this chapter, we will see the discovery of a term cell. So Robert Hooke was the first person to observe cell under his self-made microscope, and he named this fundamental unit as cell. Okay, so while examining a thin slice of cork, Robert Hooke saw that the cork resembled the structure of a honeycomb, which was consisting of many little compartments. Compartment in the sense how we stay within four-walled room. So just like that, it was resembling. Cork is a substance which comes from a bark of a tree. Okay, so this was observed in the year 1665 when Hooke made his chance observation through a self-designed microscope. So you can see it in the picture how he designed his own microscope to observe this cork. Okay, and you can see the microscopic view of this cork, how it looks like in the picture. Okay, and he called this boxes of cells as, boxes of compartments as cells. Cell is a Latin word, children, and the meaning of this is a little room. So cell is derived from a Latin word, that is little room. Okay, and these are very small. This looks very small, and but still it is very important in the history of science. Cell is such a concept, it is having a vast history in a science. So this was the first time that someone had observed living things appears to consist of separate units. So the use of the word cell to describe the units is till in this day in biology. So we use it till date, right? So we use the cell concept till date. Okay, so let us see. So what are the living organisms made up of with a small activity? So you are coming to activity part. So here to prepare stained temporary mount of onion peel. So all we need is a bulb of onion. Okay, so let us take a small piece from an onion bulb. So with the help of a pair of forceps, okay, so we can peel off the skin. So that skin is said to be epidermis from the concave side, that means inner layer of the onion. So this layer can be put immediately on a watch glass which is already having a water in it. Okay, so why we need to put this epidermis in the water? So this will prevent the peel from getting folded or getting dry. Okay, so let us take a glass slide now, put a drop of water on it and transfer a small piece of peel from the watch glass to the slide. So make sure that the peel is perfectly flat on the slide. A thin brush, okay, you need to take a paint brush and you need to transfer the peel. Okay, so why we are taking a paintbrush? Because it is a very convenient to unfold that peel if it is folded. Now we put a drop of saffron in solution. Remember, children, so the dye we are using to observe this slide is saffron in solution, because if we don't put any dye to this epidermis, what happens? We'll observe the cells as a colorless. So we need to see it with color, right? So this saffron in solution helps in that. So we put saffron in solution, a drop of saffron in solution on the piece folded by a cover slip. Now we need to avoid the air bubbles when we are adding a cover slip. While putting a cover slip, we should be very careful that no air bubble should be there on the slide. Now we have prepared a temporary slide and we will observe under compound microscope. Okay, and when we observe under compound microscope, this is how the cells look like. You can see it in the picture how onion cells looks like. Okay, now let us see how compound microscope look like, and let us observe the parts, each part of the microscope. Coming to compound microscope, you can see how exactly this compound microscope looks like. And we'll see the parts of microscope. First will be the eyepiece, where exactly we look into the slide. So that is where observation takes place. And next is coarse adjustment. So this is meant to adjust the body tube. Okay, and there is a fine adjustment. When you're looking into slide, you need to adjust it because sometimes it seems blur. So to avoid that blurriness, we'll adjust this using fine adjustment. And next is the arm of a microscope, where you need to hold it. Okay, so where you need to hold it with the right hand, and the left hand has to be under the base. So that is how the proper procedure to hold a microscope. And next, coming to objective lens, where you can see below the body tube. Okay, you can see two lenses are there. Actually, three lenses, sometimes four lenses will be there to the microscope. So that are said to be objective lens. And you can see stage just below objective lens. So stage is meant to keep a slide. Whatever the slide we prepare, we keep it above the stage. And you can see swivel is there. Okay, so this base is holding a topmost body of the tube. So that is swivel. And mirror. So why we are considering a mirror here? So we need some light to fall on that mirror. Okay, and that will be reflected. And with the help of light, we can observe a slide. Okay, and whenever we are focusing a slide in a microscope, we need to keep it where there is a presence of sunlight. Okay, we need that sunlight to fall on the mirror. So then only we can observe a thing which is there on the slide. And next, coming to base. A base of a microscope. Okay, so we need to hold the base and we need to carry that microscope, isn't it? And all the support is lying on that base. And next, coming to condenser, you can just observe the thing where exactly the condenser is. And next is microscopic slide, you know that already. And there is a clip to hold a slide. And next is a body tube, cylindrical shape, that is body tube. This is the overall picture of compound microscope. Next, coming to cell. So you kept on learning this concept since from your primary classes, that is what is cell, isn't it? Cell is nothing but a structural and functional unit of all living organism. If I mention all living organism, the first thing should come to your mind is all organism by microorganism to from microorganism to humans. Okay, that is from unicellular to multicellular, right? Yes. Thus, cells are the fundamental unit of all living organism. With the discovery of microscope, even microorganisms were discovered. Just now we saw how cells look in case of onion bulb, right? So from you can predict that every living organism is composed of cells, right? If you consider an onion or a plant or animals or microorganisms or humans, every living organisms are composed of a cell. So cell is that necessary for all living organisms, just like a building block for all living organisms. Okay. Next, coming to classification of living organisms. Organisms are classified into two. One is unicellular and next is multicellular organism. What is uni? Uni means one. Cellular means cell. Unicell, that is one cell organism. Organisms that only have a single cell are said to be unicellular. So coming to the examples of unicellular, that is amoeba, bacteria, paramecium, all the protozoans comes under unicellular organisms. Next, coming to multicellular organisms. organisms consisting of many cell. Multi means many. Cellular means cell. Many cell, right? Examples for this multicellular organisms are plants and animals. Okay. Now, what makes a cell? So, you have come across this term prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. That is prokaryotes and eukaryotes. I think you people know major difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay, this is how the prokaryotic cells look like and eukaryotic cells look like. So, let us see in brief in the next slide. So now classification of a cell. So types of cells, that is prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. So what are prokaryotic cell, children? As I said, so these are the basic things you already have learnt. Okay, so prokaryotic cells means no true nucleus. For example, bacteria, cyanobacteria, they don't have a nucleus, membrane bound organelles. Okay, coming to eukaryotic cells, plant cells, animal cells. Clear? So a true nucleus is seen. That means cell membrane bound organelles are seen in case of eukaryotic cells. So I hope everyone have followed today's concept. I think only basic things were covered in this topic, isn't it? So let us look into in-depth of cell organelles in case of animals in the next class. See you all. Have a good day.